4 minutes. Anyway, grabbing a water bottle, grabbing whatever else is right and good for your practice this afternoon. And we'll see you real soon.
We're gonna have to do like a really simple lunch, like some avocado toast or something like that, so I can be taking this full hour here.
Okay, that's fine.
And then I have the library our all staff meeting at 3:30. So
Thanks for doing the class.
Hmm?
Thanks for doing the class.
what about class?
Thank you for doing the class.
Oh, my pleasure. Can't believe it's a full hour. What prompted you to do a full hour?
Just so you know, we're live right now.
Hmm?
We're live right now. All right. Fan on here. All right. Well, welcome everyone to Noon Flow. Exciting news next month. This class goes live down at Bay Club Gateway. In the meantime, we'll have this online class. And let's get going. So, I think Kathy's going to join me. I'll invite you to come to the top of your mat, either working a wider stance for more foundation or a narrower stance to challenge that foundation. From your feet, finding your legs, from your legs, finding your spine. Relax shoulders tall through the crown of the head. I'll invite you to tuck your chin ever so slightly as we bring our hands to our heart. A light press of your thumb against your sternum as we line up each finger. And starting our practice this noontime just by watching our breath as it flows in and as it flows out, arriving on our yoga mats ready for a noontime yoga practice. From this place of just watching your breath, I'll invite you to shape your breath as you find a long, slow inhalation, matched by a long, slow exhalation. As you breathe in, I'll invite you to find a full body breath, bringing the air to the top of the chest, the base of the belly, filling up each side waist, filling up both front and back planes of your body. And as you breathe out, I'll encourage you to draw the low belly in and up towards the heart to squeeze a little more air out, also providing structural support for a low back in any of these shapes, in any of these sequences. To this deeper, fuller breath, moving towards the Ujjayi or ocean breath, a slight constriction of the base of your throat, adding a slight sound and feel to your breath, often compared to the sounds of the waves of the ocean as the waves wash in and as the waves wash out. To this deeper, fuller Ujjayi breath, I'll invite you to add Jiva Bandha, tip of the tongue with a hard palate just behind the teeth, trying to keep that connection throughout the practice. keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of your body. Finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, if you closed your eyes, opening your eyes, hands by our side. Warming up our shoulders, I'll invite you to inhale the arms up and over the head. Exhaling, arms down. 2 more times like this. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. 1 more time, breathing, arms up. Exhaling, arms down. Adding a forward fold. Inhaling, arms up. On the exhale, leading with your heart as you fold. Take a breath to lift chin and tail. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. Second one just like the first. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. 1 more to go. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. So Namaskar A with or without vinyasa. Inhaling up. Exhaling, folding. Take a breath to find length. On the exhale, folding again and grounding down through your hands and either finding down dog or cycling through vinyasa as you find yoga push-up. Inhaling into up dog or cobra and then exhaling back to down dog. Again, take your time. Find your flow. Follow your breath. Turn the fan off. Okay. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to your hands. Lots of space between each finger. Grounding down between the thumb and the 4 fingers, we draw the energy up the inseams of the arms. Shoulders engaged, either letting the neck relax and the head be heavy, or lengthening through all sides of the neck as you look back towards your navel. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step, or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, riding the breath up, hands overhead pose. Exhaling, standing tall. Second one just like the first. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Take a breath to find length, and then breathing out back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Yeah, take your time, find your flow. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your breath flows in and as your breath flows out. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step, or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling. Inhaling, Urdhva Hastasana, hands over head pose. On the exhale, standing tall. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar. We'll add an option into the mix if you choose. Inhaling into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling into the forward fold. Take a breath to find length. And on the exhale, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. Nice, Kathy. Do you want to do the option? Either hanging out in down dog or letting your inhale bring you forward to the top of a push-up. On the exhale, lifting hips high. Inhaling forward to the top of a push-up. Exhaling, lifting hips high. Let's hold this next one. Inhaling forward to the top of a push-up. Exhale and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. One more half breath. Breath in. And then breath out. Back to down dog. And holding for another breath or so. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step. Or take a jump. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. Inhaling, hands over head pose. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, either keeping a light press of your palms as your weight gathers in your feet, or adding an isometric engagement as we press those palms together, elbows wide, shoulders engaged. I'll invite you to tuck the tail and chin as we connect with the strength of our center. And then hands by our side. So Namaskar B. It starts with a chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Adding an extra breath, exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, a little half back bend at the top, open heart, open throat. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length, and then breathing out, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Again, find your flow, follow your breath. From down dog, flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, finding a three-legged dog, right leg high to the sky, high on the left toes. Now looking between the hands, bringing that right foot on through, spinning the back heel down, hands can always find the hips, and then up and over the head for warrior one. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge as we spin that back heel up, and then from low lunge back to down dog as you will. Again, take your time, find your flow. From down dog, second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. Looking between the hands, bringing that left foot on through, spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head for warrior one. And then riding the exhale back down to low lunge, and from low lunge back to down dog as you will. Nice. Really open up those shoulders. Beautiful. And then stretching it on back. As we hold down dog, either holding it in stillness or adding that option as we inhale forward to the top of a push-up and exhale back to down dog. Inhaling forward, exhaling, drawing it back. We'll hold this next one, inhaling forward, exhale and hold, inhale and hold, exhale and hold. One more half breath, breath in, and on that next exhale, back to down dog and hanging out for another breath or so. From down dog, breath in, breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step, or take a jump. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling full. Inhaling. Hand will come to our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up, a little half back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine. Let's do one more Surya Namaskar B. Let's add a hip opening sequence into the mix. It starts with a chair. Inhale. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. And then breathing out, back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Again, find your flow. Follow your breath. From down dog, flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for that three-legged dog. High on the left toes. without overly disturbing the shoulders, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands, sweeping that right foot on through, spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head for warrior one. And then on the exhale, back to low lunge as we spin back heel up, and from low lunge back to down dog as you will. From down dog, second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes, without overly disturbing the shoulders, lifted leg straight as we stack the hips. Now bending that top leg, opening up that hip, and then looking between the hands, sweeping that left foot on through, spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head, and then on the exhale, back to low lunge, and from low lunge back to down dog as you will. You can take your time. Let your breath be your metronome. Either holding down dog, or we can take that plank to down dog exercise a little bit further. And I'll see if Catherine remembers this one. Inhaling forward to plank pose, shoulders engaged, let the hips get a little bit heavy as you find a version of up dog with tucked toes. You don't have to go all the way down. And then drawing it back to down dog. Inhaling forward, finding that version of up dog with tucked toes, shoulders engaged, and then drawing it back. This last one will hold. Inhaling forward to a version of tucked toe up dog. Exhale and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. I can see you're working super hard. Breath in, and then breath out. Back to down dog, and holding for another breath or so. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step, or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhale and fold. On the inhale, back to our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, either keeping that light press of the palms or adding that isometric engagement as we connect with the strength of our center. And then hands by our side. So let's either step or jump our feet hip width apart. On the inhale, arms out to the side. On the exhale, we're going to cross the hands in front. Inhaling, arms out to the side. Exhaling, switching across. And let's do 6 of these. You might give those wrists a little bit of a flick. If you've been keyboarding all morning, that should feel pretty good, but again, in the right measure. Couple more each way. One more each side. And then back up. And hands by our side. Let's bring hands on hips. And people's hips are a little bit different. I like to angle the toes out a little bit, so I'm moving onto the right foot here. With my toes angled out a little bit, my hip feels a little more easeful. Depending on your shape of your hips, you might work the toes straight ahead, or you might find more of a turnout. The idea is we don't have any tension on the inside of the leg, nor on the outside of the hip. And there's usually an angle that works for most people's hips, and it could be no angle at all. My daughter said that she actually finds it best just to have toes straight ahead. Anyway, finding that right foot with your angle of turnout, we're going to move towards a tree pose here as we shift weight onto our right foot. And I'm going to suggest an unassisted tree today. So either finding a kickstand tree, let me go a little bit farther back here, where we rest our heel on ankle knob, toes still stay on the floor, or finding a calf tree as we bring our foot onto our calf. Those of you that want to find the thigh thing, you probably have to reach down and catch your foot with your hands. I'm going to suggest not doing that and just playing with an unassisted tree. Hands either stay on our hips our hands find the heart. Hands either stay at the heart or we stretch those hands high. Now, if the pose feels wobbly, I'll invite you to wiggle those fingers. And that usually stabilizes the pose. Fingers are our twigs, our arms are the branches. Our body is the trunk. From here, let's bring high hands back to the heart. Heart hands become hip hands. Let's swing this left leg front. And again, feel free to have a little bit of an angle here. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. But again, if that's what your hip wants, do it. Just finding a place where there's an easeful feeling, neither tension in nor out. Lifting that thigh high, toe faces down. Feeling free to stay here or going long through the leg. Soft point to the toe. You want to lean a little bit forward. Lifting that leg a little higher. And then we're going to sweep it on through as we find Warrior One prep. So I'll go a little diagonal here for a little different perspective. In Warrior One, we line up the heels classically. If that feels a little too narrow, of course you could scoot that back foot out to the side. From here, we want to steer our hips forward. So back hip moves front hip moves back hip's probably a little high, you want to lower back hip, front hip's probably a little low, you want to raise front hip. Keeping all this, back leg strong, back leg long, hands come to the shoulders as we square our heart front. From here, let's find a tray in front, breathing energy into our center of balance, 3 fingers below the navel, inhaling as we straighten front leg without locking knee, exhaling, circling the hands around. And let's do that a few times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Halfway done. Inhale and exhale. Last 2. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in, breathing out. Finding these cactus arms and holding this for another breath or so. Elbows move back, the hands come with, and I'll invite you to wiggle those fingers. Now turning Warrior One into Warrior Two. As hands find the heart, you can open up the hips. You might kick the back foot in for heel to arch alignment, but again, if that's too tippy, feel free to kick that back foot out to the side. From here, finding one long arm, looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. From here, painting rainbows. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 3 more to go. Breathing in, breathing out. Last 2, breathing in, breathing out. Last 1, breathing in, breathing out. Warrior 2. Now I'll invite you to find a rainbow warrior. A clasp of the fingers behind the back, shoulder blades back and down onto rib shelf, and then leading with the heart as you find a forward fold inside that front leg. Drawing the arms up and over the head, I'll invite you to relax the neck and heavy the head. As we hold this shape, I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway, as we release any tension in the neck and shoulders, and just letting that tension drain down through the crown of the head, into the earth. Nice. In our rainbow warrior, I'll suggest a strong tuck of the chin to stretch out the back of the neck as we bring it on up. Lining ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, releasing the clasp of the hands as we come back to our Warrior Two. Transitioning to Trikonasana, thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base of rib, deepening that crease, lengthening those ribs. Grounding bottom hand down in an appropriate place. We can set that top shoulder. We can stretch that hand high to the sky, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up past those top fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. As we hold the triangle with every breath in, finding your center of balance, 3 fingers below the navel. With every breath out, sending energy out through 2 arms, 2 legs, both ends of the spine, as you make yourselves bigger in space. Connecting with the innate pulsation of the universe. At least your universe. And what other universe is there really? From here, exploring your lateral top line. As we exhale that top hand front, turning our heart to the floor, little quarters wrist to the torso. On the inhale, lifting hand high. Exhaling. And inhale. Exhaling. And inhaling. Halfway down. Exhale. And inhale. 2 more to go. Exhale. And inhale. This last one, let's hold. Exhale it forward and hold. Pushing into that back foot, long through the leg, the torso, the arm, the fingers. And now I'll invite you to let the bottom hand join. No twist to the torso as we breathe 2 hands up. And exhale. Breathing it up. And exhale. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. 3 more to go. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. 1 more. Let's hold. Inhale it up. Exhale it over and hold as we reach. Yeah. Wiggle those fingers. And either coming back to our triangle or moving towards your half moon as hand finds the hip. Take your time. We'll step the back foot in. Bend that front knee a lot as you ground right hand down. Don't lift the foot until hands down. Yeah. Now you're going to shift the foot, weight to hand and foot. Now lifting that back leg.
It's actually easier for me.
You find it easier. Setting the top shoulder. Stretching hand high to the sky.
It's like I dive into it.
Either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up to the sky. So Kathy says it's easier for her not to ground the hand down first. She dives into it. And that's another way to do it, for sure.
But I'll try your
The idea,
way on the other side.
I just want to,
Stability.
work from a place of stability as a place to getting that through momentum. And, anyway. From our half moon shape, coming down with grace and control. Again, do it my way, take your time. Bending front knee, grounding back foot, but keep the hand down. Now you're going to shift weight back into the feet, and then you're going to come back up to your warrior 2. From warrior 2, a big windmill of the arms, front arm swings back arm swings front as we find low lunge, spinning back heel up. And then from here, back to down dog, as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or skipping that and just stretching straight back. What's your energy level, Kathy?
Pretty good.
Do you want to try the transition from down dog to up dog with tucked toes again?
Sure.
Okay. So inhaling forward to a version of up dog with tucked toes, and then drawing it back. Exhale. Inhaling forward. Exhale it back. This last one will hold. Inhaling forward. Exhale and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. 1 more breath in and breath out. Lifting those hips high and holding for a couple of breaths. And that's a strenuous sequence. If Kathy wants to, she could find a child's pose. Maybe you at home find a child's pose. Always staying on top of your breath. So when you start to heave, you're working too hard. Having said that, you do want to breathe a deeper breath, at least in a flow class. Wherever you are, always feeling free to stay there. From our down dog shape, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling forward. Let's come back to that chair pose, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart, either keeping that light press of the palms or pressing the palms together, isometric engagement, elbows wide, shoulders engaged, tucking tail and chin, finding the strength of your center. And then hands by our side. Stepping or jumping our feet hip width apart. This time on the inhale, we're going to bring arms up to one side. On the exhale, we're going to bend the knees and pass the hands through center. Again, you might give those wrists a little flick. Other side. And we'll do 6. Halfway done. 2 more to go each way. 1 more each side. And then back up. And hands by our side. Let me get back a little bit so you all can see. So hands find the hips. Again, you want to find, so traditionally the pose is taught toes face straight ahead. I find that, my hip doesn't prefer that. It prefers more of a little bit of a turnout. Again, your hip may prefer that, feel free to stay there. I turned it out about, say 15 degrees. Some of you might want to go even further, but the idea is you want to have no tension in, no tension out. From here we shift weight onto that left foot. I'll suggest an unassisted tree here. And for most of us, that's going to mean either kickstand tree or calf tree. Now, some of you all may reach down and catch the foot to find the thigh. One of my yoga teachers says you would never use your feet to position your hands. Why would you use your hands to position your feet? That's their opinion, but it's an interesting thought. From here, they're keeping hands on hips, or hands find the heart. We can keep hands on heart, or we can stretch those hands high. And let's hold this for a few breaths. Again, if it feels like you're about to fall out, try wiggling those fingers. Fingers are our twigs, arms are our branches, our body is our trunk. High hands become hard hands. Hard hands become hip hands. From here, we'll swing that right thigh front. We'll lift the thigh up. We'll lean a little bit forward. Feeling free to stay right here or lengthening through the leg with a soft point to the toe. Lifting that leg a little higher. And then we'll sweep it on through. If you have to touch down, no big deal. As we set up for our Warrior One prep. Lining up the heels. We can use our hands to steer our hips. Back hip, we can move forward and up. Front hip, we can move back and down. Back leg long, back leg strong as we bring hands onto our shoulders. Squaring our hearts front. From here, we find the clasp of the fingers, yeah. Switching the clasp. Pressing head into the hands, open heart, open throat. And then finding a tray in front. Breathing in as we gather energy into our center of balance. On the exhale, offering it out. And let's do 6. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Nice. And exhale. Halfway done. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2, breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1, breathing in. Breathing out and holding for a couple of breaths. Elbows move back. The hands come with. Feel free to ripple those fingers. And then turning Warrior One into Warrior Two. As hands find the heart, we open up the hips. If you want to find heel to arch alignment, go for it. But again, feeling free to work a little bit wider. And then finding one long arm. From here, painting rainbows. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. Halfway done. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 2. In, breathing out, last 1, breathing in, breathing out, Warrior 2. And then finding your Rainbow Warrior, that clasp of the fingers behind the back, shoulder blades back and down, open heart, open throat, leading with that heart as we take that fold inside the front leg. As we hold the shape, as the shoulders draw up and back towards the hips, I'll invite you to relax the neck and heavy the head. I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway, like a palm tree being bobbed by a breeze. And then coming back to center, Long through both sides of the torso. Stay in the forward fold. Yeah. Long through all sides of the neck as any tension in the neck and shoulders drains down through the crown of the head into the earth. From here, I'll suggest a strong tuck of the chin. Tuck that chin. Feel that stretch in the back of the neck. Keeping that tuck as we bring it on up. Lifting the chin tall through the crown. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips as we find our warrior two pose. From here, transitioning to Trikonasana, thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base or rib, deepening that crease, lengthening those ribs. Rounding bottom hand down in an appropriate place, setting that top shoulder, stretching hand high, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up to the sky with that mixture of effort and ease. Awesome. I love that energy in that top hand. As we hold the shape with every breath in, finding your center of balance, diaphragm stretches down towards the navel. With every breath out, as the diaphragm domes up to the heart, sending energy out through two arms, two legs, both ends of the spine. From here, exploring our lateral top line as we exhale that top hand front, turning our heart to the floor. Inhaling, lifting hand high as we spin heart to sky. Exhaling. And exhaling. And inhaling, halfway done. Exhale. And inhale, last two. Exhale. And inhale, last one. Exhale and hold. Pushing into that back foot, long through the leg, long through the side waist, long through the arm, long through those fingers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now the bottom hand joins. Pure side motion as we breathe. Two hands up. And exhale it over. Two hands up. Exhale it over. Two hands up. Exhale it over. Halfway done, breathing it up. Exhale it over. Last two, breathing it up. Exhale it over. Last one, breathing it up. Exhale it over and hold. And I invite you to wiggle those fingers, wiggle those twigs. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then either back to Trikonasana or finding your half moon as hand finds the hip. You want to try it my way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're going to step the back foot in. You're going to bend that knee a lot as you ground left hand down, well off to the left. From the foundation, now you're going to shift the weight out of the back foot into front foot and hand. I think that's probably more of a core experience than a momentum experience,
More of a hip experience.
or the hip experience. Now setting that top shoulder. Now stretching hand high. Either looking down, off to the side, or up to the sky. Nice. Get that thing out of the way.
No, I'm good, I'm good. Don't move it. It's good. Yeah, thank you.
With every breath in, finding your center of balance. With every breath out, getting bigger in space. I love this shape. As you can tell, I teach it most every class. Now the dismount, I'm going to try it my way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hand finds the hip. Bending, standing leg, back foot low. Keep the hand down. Now you're going to shift weight into the feet as you bring it on up. How did that feel? A little more of a core experience?
Yeah, I still had to move my hand though, so I
That's
think
fine.
it's a length thing, so I had to
Could
kind
be.
of slide my hand.
Yeah, my arms are probably a little bit longer.
Yeah.
From here, that windmill of the arms. Finding low lunge, and from low lunge. Back to down dog as you. Yeah, feel free to use your knees on that push-up anytime. Feel free to skip the push-up entirely. And again, we'll be here a few breaths. Maybe you choose that child's pose instead. Always balancing your effort, your sthira, with your sukha, your ease. So sthira, stirring up energy. Sukha sounds like sugar. It's your easeful, your sweet, innate sweetness. And just savoring that sweetness. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, looking between your hands as you mindfully make your way through. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. One more time this afternoon, finding our chair pose. Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll invite you to bring hands to heart. Either a light press of the palms or adding that isometric engagement, holding for a couple of breaths. And then hands by our side. From here, let's find second position. Let me come back to it. I'm in frame here. As we keep the heels connected, but angle those toes out. From here, as if our hands are floating on water, let's jump on our toes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's hold those heels high and we'll pulse it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From here, let's bring your arms up and over the head. I'll allow you to spin the palms out and palms back in. Spinning palms out and back in. Palms out and back in. Halfway down. Palms out and in. Palms out and in. Last one. Palms out and in. And then hands by our side as we lower the heels. From here, let's step it out wide. Let's keep the toes angled out. And let's rock it into half squat as we take it on down. When we get to half squat, we can bring knees over heels as we bring elbows to inner thighs, hands find the heart. And I'll invite you to keep rocking it from side to side as we get into those hips. From our half squat, I'll invite you to rock it back up. And when we're back up, let's bring those toes in. From here, let's make 2 fists with our hands. Let's soften the knees. We'll bring fists by our hips. On an exhale, we'll punch out with the left as we squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhaling through center, we'll punch out with the right as we squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And let's just do this a few times. Exhaling. Inhaling through center, exhaling. Halfway done. Last 2 each way. Last one each side. Let's hold as we squeeze, 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 squeeze. Inhale through center. Exhale and hold as we squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then back to center. Hands by our side. Let's bring our palms in front. They face forward. We'll bring our thumb inside and then outside. Inside and outside. In and out. Halfway done. In and out. In and out. One more each way. Let's hold. We'll bring thumb in and hold. Go a little further. Now bringing thumb out and holding. And back to center as we bring hands to our heart. From here, let's find a clasp of the fingers. Let's pretend our left hand is an elevator, and our elevator is going to lift our right arm up, and then we're going to elevate that right hand down. So the left hand's doing all the work, the left arm and left arm muscles are doing all the work. Elevator goes up, and elevator carries that left arm down. Elevator up and down. Halfway down this side. Elevator up and down. Elevator up and down. Last one here. Elevator up and down. And then releasing the clasp of the fingers, hands by our side. Let's lean a little bit forward as we bring our fingers onto our shoulders. We'll roll one shoulder front and then the other. Let's do 6 of these. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. Now we'll take it the other way. Other shoulder back, other shoulder front for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and up. Let's switch our elevators here. So if I bring hands to heart, clasp the fingers, Now the right arm is the elevator as we lift the arms up and arms come down. Right arm's the elevator as we go up and down. Just let that left arm be super loose, super relaxed. Up and down. Up and down. Let's do 3 more. Elevator up and down. Elevator up and down. Last one here. Elevator up and down. Releasing the clasp with the fingers. Hands find the hips as we step our left foot back for a warrior 1 prep. Finding a length of stance and a width of stance that works for you this afternoon. From here, let's keep left hand on left hip. We'll find length on the right hand on right hip. We're going to find length on the left side, reaching up and then reaching out. Reaching up and reaching out. Reaching up and reaching out. Halfway done, reaching up and reaching out. Last 2. Reaching up and out. Last one, reaching up. And let's find a revolved crescent lunge here as we spin the back heel up. We can start the twist with the wrist. We can stay right there or slide to the elbow. Either staying there, hand on hip, or finding your prayer hands. As we hold crescent lunge twist, yeah, there it is. Shoulder blades back and down, open heart. You might lift the chin just a little bit. Nice, beautiful. I got a little smile to your face, or a big smile. Nice. So the pose with the heel up is going to be a little tip here. You'll have a little more room for the twist. This is one of those shapes. All roads seem to lead to Rome here, that center of balance. 3 fingers below the navel. Breathing into that place. Coming out of the twist easily as you frame front foot with both hands, the low lunge. Taking a big step in, straightening the front leg as you find pyramid pose. So any amount, yeah. So either using the shin or the floor. Relaxed neck, heavy, heavy head. As we hold this shape, I'll invite you to move between warrior 1 hips, hips face front, to warrior 2 hips. I'll let you do that at your own pace, just juicing up your hips, just encouraging more prana, more energy flow. Again, all roads seem to lead to Rome on this shape. 3 fingers below the navel. Our center of balance. And then back to center, hips squared front. Let's move towards the revolved triangle as we bring hand to the back of the sacrum. Yeah, it's going to be the hand that's front leg hand. We're going to turn our heart towards that straight front leg. We're going to set that top shoulder and stretch hand high to the sky. If that's not happening for you, just keep your hand on your sacrum. The hard pose, we're twisted, we're breathing. Whatever you're feeling, breathing into those sensations. From the revolved triangle, we'll come out easily as we frame front foot with both hands. You can soften that front knee. Big step back as you find your low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. And again, always feeling free to find that child's pose. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding and holding, I'll invite you to catch opposite elbows and just gently swaying yourself from side to side. Now switching across of the elbows, keep swaying side to side. And then coming back center, hands on our thighs for the assisted roll up. The chin is tucked. We push into our thighs as we massively stack our vertebrae. Lifting the chin tall to the crown. Feel free to do this with me. Ears over shoulders. Ears, shoulders over hips. Ears, shoulders, hips over heels. As we bring our hands to our heart, either keeping that light press of the palms or adding that isometric engagement. From here, let's do a breath exercise before we find our second side. I'll invite you to make 2 fists 3 inches below the navel. On an inhale, we'll draw a line from that place through the heart. On the exhale, we'll breathe out through the mouth and we'll spin the palms up to the sky. And let's do that 6 times. Inhale. Halfway done. Last 2. Last 1. And then hands by our side. From here, let's bring hands to heart. We're going to turn to the left. We'll push left hand up, right hand down, inhaling. Exhaling through center, hands find the heart. Inhaling, we'll push right hand up, left hand down as we turn to the right. And we'll do 6 of these. Exhaling through center, inhaling. Exhaling through center, inhaling. Couple more each way. Last 2, let's hold. We'll inhale and hold. As we push up higher, we push down further. Inhaling through center. Exhaling through center, inhaling and holding. And then back to center, and hands find the heart. From here, let's bring hands onto the back of our hips. And we'll just circle our hips for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's take those hip circles the other way for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's step our feet right together. Let's cap the knees with our hands, and let's circle our ankles. The knees come along for the ride for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll take those circles the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and up. Let's keep this narrow stance to the feet, hands right by our hips. And let's just circle the circumference of the foot. So it's like we're pencils circling our point. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We'll take it the other way for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And back to center. Ears over shoulders. Ears and shoulders over hips. Ears, shoulders, hips over heels. From here, hands find the hips as we step our right foot back for our warrior 1 prep. Left hand on left hip. We're going to find length on the right side as we reach up, breathing in. Breathing out as we reach out. And we'll do 6. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more to go. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now we're going to find our twist. I'll invite you to spin that back heel up for a little more space in the shape. We can start the twist with the wrist and stay right there. We can slide to the elbow, either keeping hand on hip or finding your prayer hands. Those of you that have found prayer hands, as you press those palms together, feel the shoulder blades moving back and down on your rib shelf. Open heart, you might lift the chin just a little bit. A little smile on the face. We're twisted, we're balancing, we're still breathing. And again, all roads lead to Rome here as you breathe into that center of balance, 3 fingers below the knee. From here, coming out of the twist easily as we frame front foot with both hands. Big step in as we find our pyramid or Parsvottanasana. Feeling free to use the floor, using bricks, maybe use the shin. Relax neck, heavy, heavy head. As we hold this shape, I'm going to invite more prana, more life force into your hips. As you move between warrior one and warrior two hips, just juicing it up. A lot of us these days, or even before the quarantine, we sat a lot. So anytime we can get a little more looseness, a little more fluidity in our hips, we start to reverse the effects of sitting on our hips and low back. Coming back, center hips are going to square front. We're going to move towards that revolved triangle. As we bring hand to the sacrum, the palm faces up. That's right, you're going to twist towards that front leg. You want to keep the hips relatively stable as long as you can as you turn your heart towards that straight front leg. May I assist you?
Maybe my, this is a little tight. So.
Right here?
Mhm.
Try to get you relaxed there. Nice. And again, either keeping hand on sacrum, maybe setting the shoulder, maybe stretching hand high. Really up to you. All these poses, there's lots of options. The beauty of a home practice, even with a video, is that you can always determine how far you want to go in these shapes. These shapes are for us, we're not for the shapes. From the revolved triangle, coming out easily as we frame front foot with both hands. Big step back as we find our lunge. And one more time, the safting. Back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. And a child's pose is always awesome on slopes. And then I'll invite everyone, after you're done with your vinyasa, whatever else you're doing, is to find that child's pose. Kathy has a very nice version here. I don't know if you can see her hands, but she's got the palms facing up. And I'll invite you to do that. That looks like that feels really, really good. As we hold the child's pose, I'll invite you to let your belly massage your thighs. As you breathe in or breathe out, letting your thighs massage your belly. So just finding that connection in your center. From our child's pose, I'll invite you to walk your hands in, bringing your feet off to one side. And let's come onto our backs. So two long legs in front. Good. Let's do a roll down. So yeah, so slow, slow, slow. You want to start from tall spine, back to the head in line with the sacrum. From here, Frankenstein arms. From here, C-spine. So you want to find the tuck before you start to roll down. And then slowly roll yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae. When we get down, full body stretch, arms by the ears, not too low. We want to keep those ribs soft and drawing in. Breathing in as we point fingers and toes. Breathing out as we flex hands and feet. Do it a couple of times. Breathing in as we point. Exhale as we flex. One more time. Breathing in as we point. Exhale as we flex. And then I'll invite you to bring your hands by your side, your palms face up. Scooting the head back as you flatten the shoulders, also just widening your legs a little bit. Yeah, just give your body lots of permission to breathe. Armpits, inner thighs. Releasing the tip of the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Tip of the tongue now neutral in the mouth. A slight part to the lips. But still breathing in and out through the nose. Doing whatever else feels right and good for you as we find our final relaxation shape, our Shavasana, our floating on a cloud pose. We'll be here 2 or 3 minutes. Of course, at home, feeling free to stay here much longer. After about, I'll say 12 to 15 minutes, my guess is you'll feel an immense sense of relaxation, particularly in the four gates, the shoulders, the two hips. And your mind will go elsewhere. So I'm going to ring these yoga bells 3 times. At home, feeling free to stay in your floating on a cloud pose. As I ring the bells, I'll invite you to hear the striking of the notes, the duration of the note, its subsequent diminution, and then the ambient sounds thereof. At home, feeling free to stay, and you're floating on a cloud base. For the purposes of this online class, for the purposes of this room here, I'll invite you to invite more prana into your body as you gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Now drawing that prana in towards center as you gently circle your wrists and your ankles. Now drawing one knee at a time in towards your heart as your hands catch your shins. Now I'll invite you to gently rock yourself front to back as you massage, but keep your head down. Yeah. It's just a massage of your low belly. Yeah, nice. Getting into those hips, releasing, relaxing that low back. And now keeping the knees close in, I'll invite you to gently rock it from side to side, like a boat bobbing in its bay. And then the next time you roll to the right, I'll invite you to go all the way over, stretching long through the right arm, letting your head rest heavy on that arm. I'll invite you to take a long, slow breath in through the nose and just let it sigh out through the mouth. One more like that. Long, smooth breath in through the nose. And just let it sigh out through the mouth. From here, keeping neck relaxed and face soft as you press into your hands to come up and claim a cross-legged sit. As we sit, grounded down through two sits bones, I'll invite you to bring your hands onto your knees, pulling back with your hands to sit up a little straighter, a little taller. Without shortening the neck a speck, I'll invite you to tuck the chin ever so slightly as 5 fingers of one hand find the floor. The palm of the other hand faces the sky. Ending our practice as we start, watching as our breath flows in and as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart and bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga, and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within me honors and respects the light within you, and in this we are one. Namaste. Thank you at home for practicing with us. Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me. And we'll see you all real soon. I'm teaching tomorrow at Gateway, 9 a.m. I'm also teaching at Bay Club on the Roof at 11 a.m. If you can make those live classes, I'd love to see you. Otherwise, I'll see you in this format next week. And Namaste also sounds like have a nice day, so have a nice day.